Consumers are, of course, the currency that drives the entire economy of advertising, and whether that's in aggregate buckets or more specific ways, GDPR notwithstanding, that will continue to be the case. So at OpenX, we think about consumer-led advertising in really two dimensions. The first dimension is what we call traffic quality and ad quality. Traffic quality means, in the most simplistic sense, is this site good or is it bad? Is it too larded up with advertising? Is there bot traffic? Is the content objectionable, of course? And if it is, we curate that inventory out of our supply in the first place so that consumers don't have a bad experience on a publisher site. The other side of that is what we call ad quality, which is the same thing, except on the advertiser side, which is this a good ad? Is the content of the ad appropriate? Does it match the site? Is it driving towards a brand-safe brand or a user-safe brand? And I think the other piece of this for us has to do more with formats. We've seen that certain formats get abused, whether that means fraud or misrepresented inventory. One very salient example is the in-banner video unit, whether it's a 300 by 250 or something else, where we've decided to excise it completely from our exchange because we felt that for consumers, but also for publishers and for advertisers, it was a bad experience. We're entering a new era, whether it's ITP or GDPR, of users having to either actively consent to receive advertising or companies maybe not having the same ability to address audiences at scale. I think we're still seeing how this is going to play out, and obviously from an advertiser's perspective, the more users who opt in, the better. From a user's perspective, it is a chance to wipe the slate clean and say, I'm willing to accept advertising from this, this, and this, and not that, that, and that. And so I think we're going to see over the next 6-12 months exactly how that evolves.
Cool. And tell us about the publisher clients, which is your meat and potato over at SpotX. What are you seeing in terms of their preparation for GDPR or responding to these currents?
Sure. So at OpenX, we were GDPR compliant back in January, so about 4 or 5 months early. And we led a lot of industry-wide education for publishers and for other stakeholders as well about what does this even mean and what do you have to do. And I think what it's driven towards and what we're seeing already is both on the publisher side, but also the DSP side and the buyer side, massive consolidation. Because now you're financially on the hook if your ad tech partner isn't GDPR compliant in a pretty major way. So we're seeing buyers, publishers, and platforms say, I'm only going to partner now with a smaller limited set of preferred partners who've proven qualitatively but also quantitatively that they can walk the quality walk, so to speak.
Cool. And just getting back to the buy side, tell us sort of what the demand is coming to your platform from the buy side, either the kinds of advertisers, the kinds of units, the kind of expectations around KPIs.
Sure. So at OpenX, we have advertiser level coverage on really 100% of the Ad Age top 100, and then a huge torso and then an even huger tail. In terms of KPIs, I still think that we're dealing with two primary types of advertisers. One is a branding advertiser. Think about upper or mid funnel, looking for lots of scale, lots of reach, lots of consumer engagement across their prospecting efforts. And then you have, of course, your direct response or acquisition advertisers looking at bottom funnel KPIs. One of the things that's become a little more prominent more recently is both sets of advertisers looking at viewability as almost a primary KPI, which wasn't the case a few years ago. And now we're looking at other brand safety concerns like, is this ads.txt certified? Is my ad tech partner GDPR certified? What's the company's stance on in-banner video or other, let's say, less than savory units emerge as almost as important, if not as important as, am I going to be able to drive a media result from this piece of advertising that I've placed on a certain website?
And finally, Joey, just looking out 12 to 18 months, where do you think the industry is going, the so-called programmatic world that we operate in?
Yeah, we're just going to continue to see massive consolidation. I think folks have already started deciding that they maybe don't need to use 70 plus supply partners and that they can limit themselves to whatever their number is, whether it's 3 or 5 or 10 partners who walk the quality walk, so to speak, without sacrificing any reach or any scale. I think the original promise of programmatic, particularly when it was DSP buying, was you get to see every potential impression and algorithmically you can select the best one. But given particularly the proliferation of header bidding technology, that's no longer the case. The DSPs can't physically accommodate or technically accommodate all of the requests coming in. So now buyers are only seeing a slice of it. So the natural evolution of that is buyers saying, well, if I'm only going to be able to see a slice, I want to see the best slice. So I'm going to consolidate now towards a set of partners who present to me high quality curated brand safe inventory.